Hello viewers, how are you? This is Aravindar Annai Arul channel welcomes you. In this video we have to see Pondicherry Mahan Aurobindo Maha Samadhi Day, December 5th. December 5th, 1950, Sri Aurobindo, Indian nationalist and spiritual guru, passed away. So we have to see all detailed information inside the video. So I request you, you have to go through the video in full version. Thanking you. So shall we go to the inside the video. An Indian nationalist, spiritual leader and a philosopher, Sri Aurobindo Ghosh was born in Calcutta on August 15, 1872 to Krishna Dhyan, a senior medical officer, and Swarnalata Devi, who came from a Brahmo family. When he was around 5 years old, Sri Aurobindo, along with his two brothers, was sent to Darjeeling's Loreto Convent School. In 1879, the three brothers were sent to England, where they got a secular education under the care of an Anglican priest W.H. Drivet and his wife Sri Aurobindo, who also studied Latin, French, Greek and English poetry, got admission at King's College, Cambridge, and following his father's wishes, cleared the written test of the Indian Civil Service. But he was not interested in actually joining the service. He later sailed back to India to work with the Baroda State Service. Sri Aurobindo's fathers received the false information that his son's ship had sunk. Unable to bear the shock, he died in Baroda. Besides the regular work in the state service, Sri Aurobindo dabbled in several other teaching, artistic and intellectual pursuits, including teaching grammar and French, working as a vice principal of Baroda College, studying Sanskrit and Bengali, and writing articles and poetry. Around this time, his interest in Indian nationalism started growing, and he got in touch with the other nationalist leaders such as Lokmanya Tilak. Sri Aurobindo was particularly active in Bengal, which was then the epicenter of the nationalist movement, and supported groups resisting British rule. In 1901, he married Mrinalini, the daughter of the government official who was only 14 years old at the time. Along with leaders such as Bal Gangadhar Tilak and Bipin Chandra Pal, Sri Aurobindo came to be identified as a hardline nationalist in 1906. Sri Aurobindo became the chief editor at the Bande Mataram, a nationalist publication started by Bipin Chandra Pal. Speaking about Aurobindo's role in the journal, Paul said, "Morning after morning, not only Calcutta, but the educated community almost in every part of the country eagerly awaited its Bande Mataram's vigorous pronouncements on the stirring questions of the day. It was a force in the country which none dared to ignore, however much they might fear or hate it. And Aurobindo was the leading spirit, the central figure in the new journal. In the 1907 sessions of the Indian Congress at Surat, the so-called extreme nationalists, including Sri Aurobindo, strongly criticized the policies of the moderates in the Congress, resulting in a split in the party. Sri Aurobindo was later arrested for his involvement in the nationalist cause. After his release from prison, he continued with his writings, but now he was more interested in spiritual and philosophical matters. Subsequently, in April 1910, he moved to Pondicherry. Later, he would say about his time in jail, "I have spoken of a year's imprisonment. It would have been more appropriate to speak of a year's living in forest, in an ashram hermitage. The only result of the wrath of the British government was that I found God." The initial years in Pondicherry were mainly devoted to solitary meditation. In 1914, Sri Aurobindo started a journal called Arya, devoted to spiritual and philosophical matters. In the same year, Mira Richard, a young French woman who was a seeker of spiritual truth, arrived in Pondicherry. In Sri Aurobindo, Mira, who came to be known as the mother, found the ideal spiritual companion and teacher. With the number of followers of Sri Aurobindo growing, Sri Aurobindo Ashram was set up in 1926 by the mother. Sri Aurobindo wrote extensively, including thousands of letters to his disciples that were later collected and published in book form in the several volumes. Between 1926 and 1950, he lived in near total silence. Sri Aurobindo's writings cover a wide range of topics, practical, philosophical, and spiritual. On education and teaching, for instance, he wrote, "The first principle of true teaching is that nothing can be taught. The teacher is not an instructor or taskmaster. He is a helper and a guide. His business is to suggest and not to impose. He does not actually train the student's mind. He only shows him how to perfect his instruments of knowledge and helps and encourages him in the process." On the teaching of religion, he wrote, "There is a strange idea prevalent that by merely teaching the dogmas of religion, children can be made spiritual and moral. Religion has to be involved, not learned as a creed." When India attained independence, Sri Aurobindo's message to the nation was, August 15, 1947 is the birthday of Free India. It marks for her the end of an old era, the beginning of the new age. But we can also make it by our life and act as a free nation, an important date in a new age opening for the whole world, for the political, social, cultural, and spiritual future of humanity. Sri Aurobindo died on December 5, 1950. The mother who gave shape to the Sri Aurobindo Ashram and continued to take his teachings forward died on November 17, 1973. She once remarked, "My only aim in life is to give a concrete form to Sri Aurobindo great teaching, and in his teaching he reveals that all the nations are essentially one and meant to express the divine unity upon earth, though an organized and harmonious diversity." Every year, Pondicherry Sri Aurobindo Ashram observed Maha Samadhi of Sri Aurobindo on December 5th. Sri Aurobindo left his body on 5th, 1950. The body was laid to rest in the Samadhi after 4 days. On December 9th, 1950, the body did not show any sign of decay or decomposition during this period. A few saw a golden spiritual light around the body. Our gratitude to the physical body of Sri Aurobindo was expressed by the mother and has been inscribed on the Samadhi. To thee who has been the material envelope of our master, to thee our infinite gratitude. Before thee who hast done so much for us, who hast worked, struggled, suffered, hoped, endured so much. Before thee who hast willed all, attempted all, prepared, achieved all for us. Before thee we bow down and implore that we may never forget, even for a moment, all we owe to thee. According to Mother, Sri Aurobindo came upon earth to announce the manifestation of the supermental world, and not merely did he announce this manifestation, but embodied also in the part the supermental force and showed by example what one must to do, prepare oneself for manifesting it. The best thing we can do is to study all that he has told us and endeavor to follow his example and prepare ourselves for the new manifestation. This gives life its real sense and will help us to overcome all obstacles. Let us live for the new creation and we shall grow stronger and stronger by remaining young and progressive. Hello viewers, I think this video liked by you. Kindly share to your friends and make a like also. Kindly I request you to make a subscription of this Aravindar Annai Arul channel. Let us see in the next video. So thank you for your watching of this video. Thank you.